Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a fun match I had while playing a premium tier 8 American battleship, the Massachusetts. So lately I did not really have too much time to grind the dockyard event, but when I have the chance I usually play Americans or Germans, and Massachusetts was a fun ship back in the day. I still have issues with its dispersion with the main shells, but it still is a decent ship. So on this match we are going all the way up against tier 10, so this is gonna be quite fun, but sometimes stars align and you manage to end up getting a really fun match. So on this one we're gonna see just that, and what happens if you try to brawl versus Massachusetts and you do not time your shots correctly. So lately I have not really played too much World of Warships. I have even stayed away from Black Friday. I did purchase only like a few of the Christmas containers. Strangely enough, I noticed that this year they are offering ships from the previous dockyard events. So I saw some people share on like the community portals pictures of them getting ships like Anchorage, for example, or Hison. But to be frank with you, they did spend like $300 or euros on the super premium containers, and yeah, I kind of noticed from the previous years that in order for you to maximize the yield of premium ships or the really good shit to get from the containers, it's not that you do multiple small transactions, but you actually like have to make a lot of transactions one after another, and then the potential of you getting some decent ships might actually occur. Like, I got just tier 7 ships out of the containers, and I can tell you right now, I'm probably never gonna play the Boise or whatever other junk I got out of the containers. So yeah, I would be much happier if I can pay directly or save up coal for Smolensk or get the Enterprise. If I would be able to get the Enterprise, I have an idea for a video where I want to compare Hornet, Enterprise, and Saipan in order to determine which one of the 3 premium tier 8 cruisers or carriers, sorry, is the best one. So there's like potential for this, but I'm just not willing to pay 300 for some containers in order to gamble with if I will get the ship or not. So yeah, that's why I have been staying a little bit farther away from the World of Warships. So yeah, but anyhow, back to the match. So here we see that the enemy is actually camping here behind the island, and I'm slowly creeping in. So angling the armor is allowing the secondaries to actually shoot. Massachusetts back in the day used to have super aggressive secondaries, and if you equip the secondary signals to your ship, which I believe I do have equipped, it extends the range at which they're able to fire, and also you're able to just land a bunch of more hits. Now, I'm not sure what would happen if I would have access to like Boise as a commander for this ship. Probably it would be even more OP, but if I would honestly have that commander, probably I would put it onto my Ohio and not onto the Massachusetts itself. So anyhow, here we're trying to go for our first brawl. So it seems like the Wojang is trying to angle its guns, and he is dealing damage to me, but because I'm faster and I was able to angle the turrets, I was able to get those citadels and deal some critical damage. Here we caught off enemy Kitakaze off guard, and he is just caught behind this island. And so this is something funny. Sometimes even this small amount of patch of land is like able to disengage your secondaries, but this time they're able to function, and because we were able to spot the little destroyer, we're able to take it down nicely. And here we have North Carolina pushing in. I really dig the camo on this ship. I'm not really sure where you can get it or what you need to do in order to obtain it, but nevertheless, we have another target ahead of ourselves. 2 kills in already, and we keep on pushing in. So the enemy team is slowly starting to lose their footing. They have lost already 2 ships, but unfortunately so did we. Now here I have to re-angle myself because North Carolina does have really destructive capabilities. So you can see that I just lost a huge amount of HP. So it will now come to who is gonna actually do crucial damage to the opposing ship. With the current angling, I am trying to avoid actually the North Carolina ramming me. And here I will end up like hitting the goddamn island, which if you manage to do that, you're not gonna have good time. But here North Carolina kind of screwed up. He should have waited a little longer in order to get my full broadside, just the way I'm doing here. And aiming those shots under those turrets allows me to get the third kill. It's only the 3rd kill. Okay. So maybe I got ahead of myself, but I thought I had already 3 kills. So anyhow, here what we are gonna have to do is actually back up and force our way into the middle of the map. Because as we can see on like G1, we see that the enemy is kind of converging over there, battling it out with our submarine, our destroyer, and like 1 cruiser and 2 battleships. And we still do not know where the enemy carrier is. And we are talking about the nypw. So we do have the Roosevelt on our side, which is honestly, if Mecklenburg was not released, and I had the amount of steel necessary, I would probably get the FD Roosevelt, because that carrier is a freaking nightmare. I mean, sure, there's that new super carrier which you can get, the US, what's it called? Just the US? You know, like there's the Eagle for the Britain, and then there's the one for the United States. I don't think they are as effective as the FD Roosevelt. So the difference is, of course, in the currency in which you obtain it, because for the FD Roosevelt you require steel, and right now it's actually advisable for you to play as many ships of tier 9 to 8 as you can, because if you do not belong to clans or whatever, and you cannot compete in these clan battles where you do get quite a lot of steel, then for each match you finish, you will get 75 steel. So eventually it can actually like build up, and you will be able to save up at least some steel. So yeah, I mean, you do have some options. The game is at least nicely set up so that it is possible for you to obtain coal or steel. Right now, if you go from like, I believe tier maybe 7 to tier 5, you can get 750 coal for each ship which you would take out into battle. So you can actually save up some nice amount of resources. And if there is a commander or a ship which you want to get, then go bananas. I still don't see the point of me trying to buy Yoshino B during Black Friday when you can still get Yoshino through the armory. So, or maybe you cannot get it anymore. But yeah, it's definitely better to save up for actually ships that are currently in the armory than trying to gamble your money on potentially getting some ship which years ago used to be accessible. I mean, I would love to try the Cancer, that is Smolensk, or to have the Enterprise, like I said. But I don't think Enterprise was available for coal. I know that Smolensk used to be, but that was years and years ago. So anyhow, here we see that enemy Kansas, Ruprecht, and other ships are trying to push in and capture the 8 point. So I gotta be careful on how I would try to approach them, because if I would get focused by, let's say, the Venezia, the Ruprecht, the Vladivostok, and the Kansas, I would not stand a chance. It seems also like the enemy has lost their carrier, which does help us out quite a lot. Rune over there is out in the open, so I'm gonna open up on him, but trying to get those shots in can be a little tricky. Enemy Zazuma is moving in too, so it seems like the rest of the enemy team is converging onto the center of the map. They're gonna grab one of the consumables to restore their HP, and they're going to try to capture the A point, because currently when it comes to the point advantage, we have gone from like 500 something, and we have kind of equaled out the playing field. So we have even less amount of ships now left alive than the enemy does. But because Rune is out in the open, and it is in the range of our secondaries, Massachusetts is able to open up, and we are gonna get our next kill here, thanks to the fact that we are close. And oh no, the kill was stolen. Maybe we will be able to get a few more kills. There's still 2, 4, 6 enemy ships left, but the key is to not get focused. So of course, thankfully, if we are considering the fact that Azuma does not have torpedoes, we do have targets which we can focus upon. I'm going to try to get over here in order to grab one of these consumables. So buff has been collected, and I was able to manage to land a salvo over there and even land a freaking citadel. Now, with the American ships, if you are not playing like North Carolina, Iowa, Massachusetts, and Montana, it can be tricky, but you can definitely get with Kansas and the other bulkier ships citadel hits. It's just you need to pick up the correct modifications for your primary armaments, and then everything is possible. Now, it seems like some of our secondaries have sustained some damage, because I'm seeing that the right side is not as aggressive with the shooting as our left side. But hopefully we're going to be able to get that Venezia. Nope, not even that one. So where am I going to get that Kraken, huh? Well, I still have few targets left to mess around with. Enemy has 4 ships left. We have 5 ships now. So they have submarine, destroyer, cruiser, and a battleship. Seems like the Azuma is going to be the closest one. So I'm going to mark him with the secondaries and wait for him to show up from behind the island. He's not looking at me, so this is where I will deal some devastating damage to him, especially because he got stuck on that sinking hull. Now, the enemy Kansas, or no, that's the Ruprecht, sorry, is actually focusing its attention towards me, so I'm gonna open up with my secondaries. With the Ruprecht, you gotta be careful, because that sucker has the goddamn torpedoes. And then once we destroy the Ruprecht, the last thing which we see at our potential disposal to be destroyed is the enemy submarine. And so shooting, we manage to score the hit, and that gets us to the end screen. Now, I was using the blue economy boosters for all 4 categories. So for the money, for the free XP, for the captain EXP, and for the ship's EXP. So that came out to be over 1.7 million in the in-game currency. I earned 11,000 in free experience, and we got 6 kills, 3 citadels. We managed to land 334 shots with the secondaries. Kind of ruined the number a little bit, but a overall really nice match. Overall, an amazing match compared to majority of the matches which I used to have recently, because I just rush in, try to do whatever needs to be done, and I don't play it properly, but that's just because I'm trying to grind out for the dockyard and see what else I can do for the channel in the meantime, while I also deal with other activities. So if you want to see more World of Warship content, check out the playlist or subscribe and hit the notification bell and see what the channel is currently up to. And I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully your games are going as well as mine are, and hopefully you can share with me your progress on the current dockyard performance, or if you are actually doing the combat missions and trying to collect all those items for the battle pass. Let me know what you're up to. I will be more than happy to read about it. Thank you all, and bye-bye for now.